Selena, and there she is. There she go.
Okay.
And her friend Shamika supposed to be joining.
Okay. Yeah, this is gonna be dope. Much appreciated. So what I'm going to do is I am going to put the I'm gonna copy the invite link and I'm gonna put it in the chat in case you guys want to see it live. I am on Facebook. I'm on 3 pages on Facebook streaming right now. Uh, I'm also on IG and I'm on YouTube. On the it should be on the gallery that tells your story page. Um, and I'm also on TikTok, but you won't be able to see my screen on TikTok. But welcome. Thank you for joining in. I'm going to go over a couple quick announcements. And then, I'm going to check in with anybody that you invited. So thank you for sending out the invites, man. Because we can't do it on our own. We need more coaches if you're interested in coaching, but if you're interested in being coached, then we would love to serve you as well. So thank you for joining. Again, if you're on Zoom, I put the link to the live stream in the chat if you want to physically see the live. Otherwise, you will hear my voice and you will be able to see the chalkboard when I present it. Um, but again, if you want to see it live, you can click the link in the chat. All right, so let's go over a couple quick announcements. Now, I will say I'm kind of embarrassed. I was just telling my wife, Jamal, I was saying that last week's restream or stream, my screen did not change. I was going from navigating from uh, the quote of the day to the article to the chalkboard, but the screen only showed my announcements, so that's pretty embarrassing. So if you notice that by chance, let me know so that I can make some adjustments while the broadcast is live. Otherwise, people are only looking at the announcements and me on the bottom right corner of the screen. So either way, again, welcome to another exciting Wednesday. We are transitioning from, and sorry for the information that I sent to you on the text, it's not accurate. We have completed the self-taught unit, and now we're going into intrapersonal relationship development, which is solely about our relationship with us. You will never, and I will repeat never, be able to love anybody else fully and completely until you learn how to love yourself. Your relationships will not be as effective if you don't learn how to have a better relationship with the person in the mirror. You are a priority. I was just doing a class on Tuesday. I have a class that goes from morning to afternoon on Tuesday. And I promise you, no matter how many times I kept challenging the class to look inwardly, they kept talking about their external voluntary relationships. This unit is about you and not about anybody else. It's about your involuntary relationship with yourself that has to be intentional. All right. So this one lesson is something that we're going to have to cover. I'm sure we're definitely not going to be able to do it in one session, but this one session this one lesson rather, pardon me, is going to have to be extended to probably 2 or 3 sub lessons. It's so much to cover, but anyway, announcements. So just encouraging you guys to check out the gallery that tells your story, which is our YouTube channel. It's a lot of what I think is pretty dope content. So check it out. You know, if you like it, like it. If you want to subscribe, please do. You know, I'm not one that's big in. I'm not all sold out on likes and subscriptions, but I'm more sold on the lessons that people are able to take away from any of the videos presented. So if you've watched some of the content, you know, I would love to get your feedback, um, and I would want to know what you learned from it. All right, because that's all that matters to me. The greatest legacy that we will ever leave is not material things like houses and cars and businesses and things of that nature. All those things are great, but the greatest legacy that you'll ever leave is the lessons that you teach, because they can be extended from generation to generation to generation. All right. So, yeah, check it out. The gallery that tells your story. And if you're interested in being a part of the gallery that tells your story, if you would like to tell your story, because your story should not be anything you should keep to yourself. Everybody has a story. And you will be very surprised upon sharing your story how many people you can really reach and touch, and or how many people are experiencing the things that you are or have experienced yourself, and they want to get out of it. Your story can really bless somebody. So if you want to be a part of it, you know, give me a shout, send me a DM, and yeah, if you can send me a video, that would be pretty dope. We can add it to the production. All right. Also, we have books for purchase. Aiden's Journey uh, is comprised of 2 Christian fiction novels. One is titled The Invisible Marriage, and the other is Forsaking All Others. All right, so those are for sale on Amazon and Kindle. Also, I Did, and It Didn't, another dope Christian fiction novel. Blessed to be a part of that with some really dope authors. Again, shout out to Rock, Anastasia, and Taisha. That was a really dope project. I Did, and It Didn't. Also, my wife's, shout out to my wife, my better half, my sly fox, my red fox. Salute, salute. Her book is titled 50 Shades of She, which is also available on Amazon. It's a really dope poetic novel about her experiences with domestic violence in the past. So check it out if you want to support. Every Wednesday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Coach Classes with Coach. We are live now on TikTok, and we are streaming on Facebook. Shout out to Facebook, IG, and on YouTube. All right. Coach Classes with Coach. Let's see what else we have. We have T-shirts for sale. The Gallery Tells Your Story T-shirts. You know, if you're interested, reach out to me. Send me a DM. And we also have John 8:24, which is my favorite scripture. We have that for sale. in all sizes, and also self-love over self-destruction. That is the message that should be a constant message in everybody's ear. Self-love over self-destruction. All right. All that merchandise for sale. If you're interested, give me a shout. My number is 443-785-7010. That's 443-785-7010. Or text 443-762-6010. That's 443-762-6010. All right. All right, so now I'm going to share my screen. And again, don't let me butcher this broadcast by not allowing you to see my screen. All right, so I have the quote of the day for starters by a gentleman named Bill Phillips.
And we gonna be able to see that, bro.
Only on the chalkboard. So I'm going to show it on the chalkboard in a second if you guys want to hang on. But if not, I am going to read it out loud for you guys to reflect. Oh, I'm remiss. You want to, before we get into this, you want to introduce your guests, and maybe they can share, a little something about themselves, what they're looking to get out of this. If they're not expecting anything in particular, that's cool too. But you want to introduce your guests before we get started?
Yeah, so it's my lady, Selena.
Hey, Selena.
A good friend, Shamika, call her Sham. They joined this.
Sham. All right, Sham. Thanks for checking in, y'all.
Hey,
How y'all doing? How was
I'm
the
doing
week?
good. It was good.
Good,
It was
good.
good. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. All right.
Hello. How are
Hey,
you?
I'm good. How you feeling?
I'm good.
Good. Man, I'm so excited that y'all have joined us today. What a blessing it is for me.
Yes.
It really
Thank
made
you.
my heart smile.
Oh, thank you. Thank you
Yes.
for having us. Appreciate it.
So
Yeah,
again,
thank you.
if you guys want to see it live, I did put the link in the chat. You can click the link in the chat, and you'll see it live. Um, I figured that would be easier than giving you all of my handles for my social media platforms. So you could do that. Now, again, as I stated to Jamar, when I share my whiteboard, you will be able to see that without the stream per se. But anything else is audible interaction. All right.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah. Well, thank you. All right. So here's the quote of the day. Again, the unit is on intra, and it's a difference between people get tripped up with this. There's a difference between intra-personal skill development and interpersonal skill development. We're gonna get to that next unit. This unit is specifically about how you relate to the person in the mirror. Your relationship with you is the most important relationship, obviously outside of your relationship with God. It is the most important relationship. All right, so the quote of the day is this. I'm going to get you guys feedback. Here's the quote. The difference between who you are and who you want to be is what you do. I'm going to repeat that. The difference between who you are and who you want to be is what you do. So, Jamal, I want to start off with you. And I'm going to go to my whiteboard right now. Let me know what thought comes to mind for you as you hear that quote?
The difference between who you are and who you want to be is what you do is that's the core word.
Yeah, that's it.
Um, basically sound like your I would say basically your actions speak louder than the words.
Okay.
Your actions show who you are. They say like what I quote, love is an action verb. It's more which how you show it and say it. And that
Okay.
go with yourself too. So then,
All right. And there's no wrong answer. I just wanted to, get you guys' feedback. All right. Let's go to Selena. Selena, what you think? The difference between who you are and who you want to be is what you do.
For me, I think that's just walking in who you are is uh what's the difference between who you are and who you want to be? I guess should be who you want to be. You should be walking into who you see yourself in your near future.
Okay.
I agree. I was going to say something like that. I agree.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. All right. Fair enough. The difference between who you are and what you want to be is what you do. So in coaching, what we have to do is we have to take people for who they are, where they are, but we have to uh, also help them to establish their goals. Uh, with coaching comes accountability. So one of the first things I do on my first assessment, or after my first assessment, is figure out what their goals are, and then once I know, okay, this is goal number one, or this is a goal, that is a goal, and that is a goal. The next step is to determine the priorities. Okay, which one is the most important thing? All right, and then what is second and what is third? And then we develop game plans to address each goal. All right. The reason why I myself work alongside therapists is because my job is to get my clients from point A to point B. A therapist's job is to help the client figure out why they're having so many challenges with getting from point A to point B. For example, if there's some childhood trauma in the way, that's what a therapist's job is for. And they can get back to me and say, Coach, all right, the reason why client so and so is having so many challenges is because we have to unpack this, that, and the third. And because those barriers are in the way, or until those barriers are removed, then challenge of getting that client from point A to point B. All right. If I had to simplify the relationship between coaches and therapists, then that's what it would be. All right. But one thing that stands out as it relates to the quote is the last part of it, which is why I divided this kind of into three sections. The difference between who you are and my dryer, pardon me, my dryer is being real disrespectful to me right now during this presentation. You may hear it go off a couple more times. It has a mind of its own until I get up. The last part of it is what you do. All right. So that's where the work comes in. So once our clients say, once they're clear about where they want to be, then we have to help them to develop the action steps that it takes to get there. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
That makes sense.
All right. So all of that is wrapped up into a word. I'm going to slide this over a little bit. The word identity. Let me make this a little smaller. The word identity. I'm going to get my wife. Identity. So identity encompasses memories, experiences, relationships, and values that do what? That create one's sense of self. So one thing that you guys will hear me say repeatedly is that we all are summations of our experiences. All right? Memories, experiences, relationships, and values that create one's sense of self. Right? That's very hard to answer. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second. My chalkboard. And I'm going to go around, but before I go around, I'm going to stop this daggone drive because it's driving me crazy. It's going to bark in another minute. This is what I want you guys to think about as I step away. The question that I have is, who are you and why are you here? Who are you and why are you here? I want you to think about that for 1 second. I'll be right back. Who are you and why are you here? Sorry about that. All right, here we go. Feel better. Who are you? Let's start with that. We're going to find, and I can guarantee it, everybody's going to have, well, let me. Jamal, let's start with you. Who are you?
My fault, bro. I was taking this stuff off the stove.
That's all right. The question is, who are you?
My fault. You said, who am I?
Yeah, who are you?
I'm I would say I'm a soul having a human experience. And I came here to evolve.
Evolve into what?
My higher self.
Okay. How do you define higher self?
That's a good one. I would say that
Think about it for a minute.
yeah. I mean, the connection, like, with like my deeper spiritual consciousness. You know, the wiser me. You know, more patient and more understanding.
All right.
The deeper aspect of my consciousness.
How do you define consciousness?
I'm would I define my consciousness?
Mhm.
I would say the like my thoughts, my feelings. But I say my awareness of self.
Okay. All right. And the questions that I'm asking you all are questions that I would ask the client. So I'm just taking you through a similar coaching session, if you will, if we are coaching the subject matter. All right. One thing, and I'm gonna come to you, Selena, in a minute. One thing that I do in coaching as well is I take my clients through in the beginning a life story interview. And in the life story interview, what we do is, pardon me, we unpack the client's earliest memories of their relationship with mom and dad. Sometimes we get into grandparents up until current time. If they have children, who they had children with, whether they're married or not, give a synopsis of the client's life story. And you will find that some people haven't really did this level of exploring their own life stories, nevertheless share it with somebody, right? And I find that upon sharing it, some light bulbs go off from them for them, and they start to figure out why they are the way they are in terms of behavior, who they got it from. Uh, they're able to point out certain people in their village that inspired them the most, be it inspired their behaviors the most, be it good, bad, or ugly. And we get to understanding. The goal is to get to an understanding of who they are, and then we start getting into why they're here, and then we get into developing strategies and game plans and things of that nature. All right. So let's go to Selena. Selena, who are you?
Yes. So my answer is kind of similar to Jamar's. I feel like I'm a light being. I came here for the same reason, to get the human experience, to be my best self.
Okay. Now, how do you determine best self?
I think it's more of a feeling of me evolving through life and knowing that you're going. I know that I'm going up. I'm not going backwards.
Okay.
With the things that I do.
How do you define evolution?
So it's more internal.
Because I hear this word evolve. So
Yeah, it's like a I guess like a like a caterpillar turns to a butterfly.
but the butterfly dies eventually.
Well, yeah, butterfly.
So does the
But
is,
no.
is death a part of evolution?
So, oh well, yes. Letting go of any longer. For sure, they have to die.
Okay. So what about and again, I'm just taking you guys through a real exercise that I do in coaching. So when we say evolve, I understand what you're saying, but I want you to talk to me like I'm a 6-year-old. When I look at an elder who's in their late 80s and early 90s or whatever, am I seeing a picture of evolution? Or am I seeing some kind of reversal of the order. And for example, we actually specifically, or to get more specific, do we come to a point in life where we peak and then decline? And if so, is that evolution? Or is evolution constantly going up to the mountain?
Um, that's, that's a good one. I think that is. I think it's climbing, but I don't think as you climb, it's steady. I think sometimes you climb and you take 2 steps back sometimes, and you take another 4 up, and you may take 1 back, just to make sure.
Okay.
But I always feel like it's always going forward, no matter what. Whether it tethers back or forth, it's still always moving forward, no matter what.
Okay. All right. That's fair. All right, just picking your brain. Just wanted to see what your thoughts were.
Yeah, for sure.
Shamika, let's go. You ready? You had enough time to hear everybody's responses. Let's do it.
If y'all hear baby, don't mind the baby. It's loud. But okay, so who am I? All right. So if I want to make sure I explain myself properly.
Take your time.
I feel like so I'm a spiritual being, right? And here in physical form, here to fulfill a purpose, right? And if I think of myself in the physical form and the things that I do, I'm a mother, I'm a sister, I'm a aunt, I'm a caregiver, all those things.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm here because I was here to fulfill whatever purpose God put me here to fulfill. And it's going to allow me to go through all of these different changes that I got to go through, whether they're, traumatic experiences to learn from, whether I'm teaching someone to help them grow, whatever it is, I'm that person. And that's the reason why I'm here. It's really just to fulfill a purpose. And then once that purpose is fulfilled,
Okay.
it is what it is.
Okay.
I don't know if I explain myself.
Right. No, that's cool. So then your purpose changed.
I don't know. I don't know if it changes because I feel like in my life, me personally speaking, that everything I've went through and completed and done, and where I'm at now, all was in alignment with what I've accomplished. Like I feel like I was placed here to be more so a caregiver, someone to help everyone. You know what I mean? Like to get them where they need to be. But I had to go through certain things with myself to see that, because I question sometimes, like, why is it that I'm always going through these things, but yet I'm still the one people lean on to help them and so forth and so on. So, I think it doesn't really change that much. I think it's just, it comes all in an alignment, if it makes sense.
Okay. All right. Okay. I got you. And when you said that, I thought about all of us have certain gift talents.
Right.
Yeah, so it's not like the gift changes necessarily. We just in different seasons in life with different individuals.
There you go. Right, exactly.
Okay. All right, fair enough. Thank you guys for participating in that.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. All right, so let's go. I'm going to put down my whiteboard for 1 second. And I'm going to go, and I will send you guys, Jamal, please remind me. I know you've been asking me to send you the article. Charge it to my head, not to my heart. I'm going to send you guys an article when we're done. Jamal, are you, by chance, are you also on, like, can anybody see my screen through the link that I sent in the chat? I want to make sure I'm not making the same mistake I did last week.
I don't see no link in the chat when I open it up. No.
No. Oh, yes, I do. I actually do.
You see
I
it?
see a link. It's Studio Restream.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So both of y'all see it in the chat?
Mhm.
Okay. And Jamal, what were you saying?
I said I just logged on.
Okay.
I think it's about to log on to it now. Yeah, I'm on there.
All right. What do you see on my screen?
Right now?
No, what do you see like when you guys are using the link? What do you see on? I want to make sure you can see the article on the screen.
Oh, the link. The link is just showing me. Just see your little name in the bottom, Coach White, and I don't see nothing on the screen. The screen is black.
Can you resend the link again?
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
I wasn't.
No problem.
Okay.
All right, let me see.
So,
One second.
for me, I see ready to join when I click the link.
Yeah, if you press the what it say, join as guest.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna put my name. Okay.
Cool, girl.
I put the link in the chat again. Just to prove. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reshare for a minute. I can go ahead and click share again just to all right. What about now, Jamal? What do you see?
The same black baby.
It's still black on your
Yeah.
end?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to send you guys the article when we're done. I think I would have to be like, I got to figure that part out. I got to figure that part out because I thought it was just easy as sending you guys the link. And then by clicking the link, you could be on the stream. But it doesn't seem like that's happening. All right, so, but you guys were able to see the whiteboard, right? When I had it up?
Yeah, the whiteboard.
Okay.
The whiteboard.
All right. Okay. All right, so what I'm going to send you is an article called Who Are You by Dr. Matt James. He says, whoever you think you are, you're more than that. He goes on to say, for years now, my students have heard me say the statement above, and I've come to understand that they each have their own interpretation of it. Yes, I'm a better actress than I think I am, end quote. Yes, I'm not only a good businessman, but I'm also a good father, end quote. Yes, those limiting beliefs I've had that I would never be successful are not true, end quote. Those are all good and useful ways to think about it. But I think we can take the notion of identity, of who we think we are, much further and achieve amazing results when. So let's talk about identity and about disconnecting from our false identities to gain the freedom of who we really are. All right. Then he goes into, or I'm going to actually go to identity, and I'll put that on the whiteboard. Identity encompasses the memories, experiences, relationships, and values that creates one's sense of self. Uh, this amalgamation, I think that's how you pronounce it, creates a steady sense of who one is over time, even as new facets are developed and incorporated into one's identity. So here's a question. Jamal, we'll start with you. Since we're considering identity as something that encompasses memories, experiences, relationships, and values, let's start with memories. All right. What memories that you have that you believe are or can be directly related to identity? What memories do you have that you think could be directed to identity?
What memories do I have?
What memories do you have? Collective memories that you think
Hmm.
has created
I would say,
who you are. Go ahead.
I would say growing up, um, growing up, how we grew up.
How would you define that? How would you define that as it relates to your identity?
How would I define that?
Yeah, as it relates to your identity. How would you define it? Again, talk to me like I'm a 6-year-old. When you say how we grew up, what does that mean?
Yeah, a little more. Yeah, just growing up, and growing up, how we being outside, the people that our friends we grew up with, had to fight and learn how to fight. You know what I'm saying? Learn how to fight. Um, it's how we was raised. You know, being like it just like in the art gallery and seeing how pops and moms was like all they had a part to play with. I would say my identity.
Okay. So you used an example.
Yeah.
So as it relates to your identity, and I'm just connecting dots, the memories of the art gallery helped you to later on in life identify as an entrepreneur. Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Entrepreneur, artist.
Okay. All right. What about you, Selena? What memory or memories do you think has uh, impacted your identity?
I think my parents' um, relationship dynamic, um, and I think also, I guess, yeah, my parents' dynamic, how I experienced them, how I was treated, how I took that outside into school and having my own personal relationships with people. I feel like it all stems from them
Okay.
and my siblings. Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Shamika, your turn. What memory or memories that you have you think it contributed to your identity?
Okay. So I think I kind of gave it away in the other questioned when I said that I'm a caregiver. So my whole life, even from being little, I was always like the one taking care of all the kids. I was the one that was the babysitter. I was the one stuck with all the kids. And it's kind of followed me out throughout my whole life to even into my career where, I became a social worker. And I ended up taking care of other people. So, yeah, that would be a memory that has like kind of shaped me into who I am now.
Okay. All right. That's really good. Thank you for sharing that as well. So, it is a common thing for us when we talk about identity to and I mentioned the word memories intentionally. I highlighted that in bold because we have a lot of memories. And if you guys were around when we did the self-talk unit, we spent some time discussing automatic thoughts that come to our mind and how that impacts our self-talk. So memories impact our self-talk as well, even though we're not on that unit. It still fits the context. But what I notice is when we talk about memories, it's very easy and natural for us to talk about the good memories that has shaped our identity. So I'm going to flip it because this is about coaching is about doing our self work, right? I'm going to flip it a little bit and I'm going to start off. And I'm going to give you guys some memories that I have that weren't good memories that has impacted who I am today. All right, y'all ready? Seatbelts on? Here we go. I remember uh, my mom's most consistent form of discipline for me was to tell me to go to my room. And I remember very vividly, this is a very vivid memory, on multiple occasions because of just being young and being a bonehead, to be honest. Uh, she got to a point where she was trying to, I think as parents, we learn different as our kids grow up. We learn different forms of discipline, and we have to kind of figure out which is more effective because you discipline to teach and you punish to harm, right? So it's two different motives. So at this stage in my mother's life, in my opinion and from my lens, the beatings weren't working. The belts weren't working as much anymore. It would be short-lived. I would get all the fur tore off my back. But then in a couple of days, it heals, right? So I'm back to being a bonehead again. So she was trying to, in my opinion, she was trying to explore different ways of accountability with me. So what she did consistently during this season of my life that had the most impact on me is tell me to go to my room. And I remember the last time she did it. She would say, go to your room. And I'm a 76 baby. She would take out the Atari. She would take out the television, which only had like 3 or 4 channels on it. She would take out off the radio. I had my little boom box. And she took out the telephone. And she would put me in a room or tell me to go in my room. And I had to eat in my room. The only time I came out of my room was to go to school. Came home, I went back to my room. I had to eat in my room. I can go to the bathroom, but I had to go back to my room. So while in one sense, in a parent's mind, it was, hey, it's better than beating them with this belt. To me, what it did was it totally shaped my identity in this way. Check this out. When I got into my first marriage, relationships, and I just said this last week, relationships will expose all of your weaknesses. Depending on how long you stay in it and how vulnerable you are with your partner, it will expose all your weaknesses as a man. So in this first marriage, when I got disappointed, frustrated, take a guess.
You went to your room.
I went to my room. You got it, Selena. I went to my room. And my wife would, at the time, my wife, bless her heart, she would come to me and say, "Why aren't you talking to me? Why don't you use your words? Why are you like this? I can't stand this." I would, we call it the silent treatment, which is a form of emotional abuse. I would isolate myself sometimes for hours, sometimes for days, sometimes for weeks, sometimes for months. I would pass my wife. It would be like ships in the night. I would be a certain way outside of my house, and I walk into my house. I would not say anything to her. I would go down in the basement, take my food with me, and I had a bathroom in the basement, and I would camp out in the basement. And all I would say to her is, guess what? This is just how I am. Accept me for who I am. I'll come back to you when I'm ready. And that marriage ended. You hear what I'm saying here? I figure out for me after a while, after it's over, and you have your minutes of self-reflection, you say, dang, she did ask me, why am I like this? But why am I like this? Why do I do that? Ding, 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 ding. Childhood memories. Indirectly, I learned to isolate. When you go through your emotions, you manage your emotions in isolation by yourself with nobody with you. No distractions, no radio, no TV, no game. Isolation. That's what that form of consistent discipline taught me. And that's one of my memories that is it has not it had affected me in the past. It does not affect me anymore because I did my own self work. Because I had to wrestle with that, y'all. I had to say, why am I like this? My identity was connected to the little boy in the room, although I'm a grown man. So here I am, a grown man, but inside was this little kid who was very immature emotionally and isolated. And guess what? Emotionally abused his wife, and by having a silent, toxic house. And that marriage did not last. And I own that. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Memories, identity. So these are the things we got to unpack. Yeah, I can sit up here and say to you, you know, yeah, good memories. My parents had, our parents, pardon me, had really good, I had really good memories of seeing them. I never saw them argue. You know, it told me what I can get into us coming together and breaking bread as a family. But that doesn't require work. What requires work is the bad memories that we have that really impacted our identity that we carry into our relationships. and make our partner suffer. So that's what I want to talk about. But we are running short of time. Any questions, comments, concerns, or thoughts before we close today? I would love to get any feedback you guys have. But again, this is going to have to be broken down into 3 or 4 parts.
Love it, bro.
Good. All clear.
Yeah,
Ready to do the work?
you already know.
Yeah, man. Okay. Selena, any questions, any concerns, thoughts, comments?
I think the questions are very detailed, as they should be, and I like the back and forth communication. I like how it's said. I like how you give the floor for someone to speak their truth, and I like the way that you respond back. So I think it's good. I think the structure of it is really good.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Shamika,
Yeah.
what say you?
I agree with what Selena said. I like sessions or interaction where someone allows me to dig deep and think. So I think, like Selena said, the questions were good. It made me dig in deep